Hello and welcome to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar. In this video, we want to boost your vocabulary, in particular, help you understand an artist's palette, or even inject those words in creative writing. So hopefully you're going to learn how to use ambitious colour words to enhance your description. Please do click on the link above and down in the description box if you want to see the smorgasbord of colours in blue as I launch in next onto the colour red. It's even very musical. And if you're new around here, why not like and subscribe? So let's kick off with red. Synonymous with passion and also with anger. We have many shades here for you to enjoy. Now, the thing that really strikes me is the beauty of using a range of these to prove your point. Better to say they were crimson with rage rather than they were red in the face. What we've got also is a huge range, with saffron being bright red all the way through to something like blush, which is actually more of a pinky red. What I also want you to be able to think of is where you would use these in a description. Feel free to use the comments below to populate with the colours you want to experiment with, and I will of course let you know if you're on the right lines. Next up we have orange. What's so lovely about this colour is that we can associate it with so many things that we might choose to describe, the most common being that of a flame. But it's so dull to just say the flame was orange. Instead, to say the range of orange shades is something else. The flame had a tinge of bronze mixed with honey as it burnt brightly on the campfire. That really shows you what we're looking at, rather than just telling me it's the colour orange. I want you to see the richness of the darkest orange colours that actually practically border on brown, whether that's rust, bronze or clay, all the way through to the lightest that actually link back to what I'm about to move on to, which is yellow, whether that's honey and marigold. So yellow. Here you can see a range that you can really use for your own benefit. I think the most commonly associated use of yellow in description is that of the sun. So here we go. I'm going to enhance my description by thinking of a very intense sun. The sun, now a Dijon mustard, was taking cover, radiating gold across the skyline. Now, I could have chosen any shade here, but I've chosen not to just talk about lemon yellow or butter yellow. I think it's important to have a range of these different shades of colour to enhance the quality of what you put on the page and bring it to life. Next up, white. You might be thinking, well, there's not that much to it. It's, well, white. But so much of the time there's a slight hint of other colours within it. My example is about a jar. I'm describing the alabaster jar, which is delicate and fragile, like the person carrying it. White is often associated with fragility in the colour, and also I think it's a great counter to, let's say, darkness, okay, with light. So you might be hinting at bright white light, but if you can give a little bit more in a description through an adjective or a noun, you're really enhancing the quality of your description of that colour. So well worth learning a few of these and applying it in writing. Next up, we have green. And I want to be able to show the range of green as a colour linked to nature. What's brilliant about knowing so many different shades is that when you're comparing the colours within a skyline, or in this case for me, in my example with trees, I'm really able to dig into detail. So here goes. The trees, every shade from emerald to sage, were in full bloom. Hidden in one, a parakeet can be heard, but not seen. It is camouflaged. What we've got here is a range, and it prompts us in our thinking. Next up we have purple. And actually I'm really struck by how many shades of purple we could ignore. Whether it's gems like the amethyst, or actually so many of these are the blossom of flowers like lilac, violet, iris, orchid, heather, lavender. What we want to be able to show is the range within a natural landscape, perhaps, or maybe the colour of a wall. The wall was a shocking shade of magenta. I also think with purple you get the chance to talk about berries and wine, whether that's sangria, whether that's wine purple, whether that's boysenberry, grape or jam. We've got a range of different associations with purple and taste also. Next up, as pink goes, we've got so many basic ways of using pink. We might be thinking about it in terms of cheeks of a human, but to say their cheeks turned pink is very, very dull. And instead of being bland, why don't we mix it up and say their cheeks turned a heady mix of coral and then strawberry? What I love about some of these, like magenta, is it's very, very striking and bright. As we just referenced in purple, it kind of bleeds on. But others are so mellow, like flamingo pink, like salmon pink, like blush pink. Well worth thinking about how you could incorporate these in any description. And last but not least, actually being able to describe the shades of a night sky, being able to acknowledge the different kinds of greys that there might be. Thinking about especially language paper 1 question 5, often you get quite a stark image with many shades of grey in it, hence why there's so much beauty to being aware of more shades than simply black or grey. So here, my favourite is to think of the stars as they gleamed in the obsidian sky. But more than that, you can describe the crow black, raven black, midnight black, charcoal black. You could describe a really dirty bin as ash bin. Regardless of the thing you're describing, having these colours at your disposal really enhances what you're offering a reader, and it really helps you show them what they need to see. Best of luck, and please do populate the chat with your best sentence using some of these colours.